Welcome to Timeless Insights, a channel dedicated to sharing the essence of books and applied psychology, helping you gain deeper understanding of yourself and live a meaningful life. Have you ever asked yourself, what am I living for? There are pains that seem insurmountable, losses that leave us breathless, and yet we still have to go on living. But for what? For whom? If you're going through a shaky phase in life, feeling empty despite having everything, then this book is the light you need right now. Today, I'll share with you a book that not only changes the way we perceive life, but can also rescue souls that have lost their way. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. These are not hollow philosophical musings written in a cozy office, but words born in the midst of earthly hell, where the author faced death every single day in Auschwitz concentration camp. And the strangest thing is, right in that infernal place, he discovered a philosophy of life that can help us, modern humans, confront pain, loss, and the invisible disorientation no one dares to name. Man's Search for Meaning is not merely a book. It is a living testimony from a man who walked through the depths of suffering, and from that gave birth to a philosophy that has awakened millions of modern souls. The author, Viktor E. Frankl, was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist of Jewish descent. In 1942, he and his family were arrested by the Nazis and sent to concentration camps, including the infamous Auschwitz, where the line between life and death was as thin as a breath. During his 3 years of imprisonment, Frankl witnessed the most horrific atrocities that humans could inflict upon one another. Hunger, cold, beatings, disease, and death looming every day. His parents, brother, and beloved wife were all murdered. People who were once doctors, professors, and artists became emaciated bodies, stripped of their dignity and hope. Yet amidst such horrors, Frankl did not lose himself. He realized a profound truth. Even when everything is taken away, there remains one ultimate freedom that no one can touch. The freedom to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance. From that realization, he built the foundation for logotherapy, therapy through meaning. Frankl observed himself and other prisoners and found that those who held onto a sense of purpose, a strong enough why, were more likely to survive than those who had given up. He imagined the day he would lecture again, recounting his painful experiences as a lesson in resilience and faith. For him, suffering was no longer a tragedy, but a mission. And if we can find meaning in it, pain cannot defeat us. The philosopher Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." And Viktor Frankl is the living embodiment of that quote, a man who transformed suffering into wisdom and despair into a light that guides those lost in life. You always have the freedom to choose. Between stimulus and response lies liberty. One of the most profound messages of man's search for meaning is the reminder of a power that seems small, yet is the greatest of all. The freedom to choose one's attitude. In the concentration camp, where every human right was stripped, from freedom of movement, eating, even personal dignity, Frankl realized there was still one thing no one could take from him: the freedom to choose how he responded to his circumstances. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Amidst the beatings, starvation, biting cold, and constant threat of death, some prisoners still maintained kindness, compassion, even courage. They shared their tiny piece of bread with weaker inmates, comforted others with a glance or a whisper. Meanwhile, some surrendered to despair and became cruel. Frankl realized man can behave like a beast or like a saint, and that does not depend on the situation, but on choice. Between stimulus, what happens, and response, how we react, there is a space, and in that space lies our inner freedom. We cannot control everything that happens, but we can always control our attitude, thoughts, and actions. One touching example from the book is of a man grieving his wife's death. Frankl didn't soothe him with empty words. Instead, he asked, "If it had been you who died, would she have suffered?" The man nodded. Frankl continued, "Then, by surviving her, you've spared her that pain. The same loss, but seen from a different angle, becomes an act of love. Life will always bring injustice, adversity, and situations beyond our control. But the more important question is, how do we respond? Do we choose resentment or gratitude, collapse or grow stronger? That choice no one can make for us. And it is precisely in those small daily choices that a person's character is formed. It is not what happens that defines us, but how we confront and move through it. Happiness and success cannot be pursued. They are byproducts of a life of purpose. In an era where people are urged to chase your dreams and pursue success, Viktor Frankl offers a radically different and challenging perspective. He writes, "Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue, as the unintended side effect of one's dedication to a cause greater than oneself." Frankl calls this the indirect effect. The more we crave happiness or success, the more likely we are to fall into anxiety and emptiness. Because when our life's focus revolves around me, my achievements, my joy, everything becomes fragile. One failure, one loss, and we are instantly shaken. In contrast, those who live for something greater than themselves, for a loved one, a vocational mission, a human value, find deep joy and lasting resilience. In the camp, Frankl survived not because he clung to life, but because he assigned meaning to that life. He wanted to tell the story, to teach, to write a message that could save lost souls. To Frankl, happiness does not come from trying to feel happy. It comes from living with integrity, from devoting oneself fully to what one believes is right. Like someone in love, they don't pursue happiness. They simply want to do something for their beloved, and in that action, happiness quietly arrives. Frankl invites us to shift our focus from ourselves to live toward something deeper, a meaning, a person, a moral goal. When you give your whole self to that, whether it's caring for the sick, creating art, or simply living kindly, happiness and success will follow as a quiet reward without needing to be pursued. When a person knows their why, they can endure. Anyhow, man's search for meaning is not a book to read for knowledge. It is a wake-up call. In today's world, where people may have every comfort yet still feel empty, this book shines a light into the deepest parts of the soul. meaning in life does not come from what we have, but from how we choose to face what we cannot avoid. Frankl does not deny pain, nor does he romanticize suffering. He simply shows us that when we can no longer control external circumstances, we still possess one ultimate power: the freedom to choose how we live. In that tiny gap between stimulus and response, we can redefine ourselves. And once meaning is found, even in pain, then that pain becomes part of our growth, not the cause of our downfall. Frankl's message does not promise ease, but it opens a path to seek a reason to keep going, even when all seems lost. That reason could be someone we love, a job we believe in, a value we uphold. And if you can find that why for yourself, you will have the strength to endure any how life throws at you. So, if there's one takeaway from this book, it is this: life never ceases to have meaning, even when it is painful, even when it is cruel. As long as you still have the freedom to choose how you live, you still have the chance to find meaning in that very suffering. And perhaps, in that journey to seek meaning, you may finally find yourself. That was the full content of the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. I hope that these reflections not only help you understand the book more deeply, but also spark something within you: a question, a motivation, or simply a quiet moment to look within. Life may not be easy, but when we learn to find meaning in every experience, whether beautiful or painful, we ourselves become deeper and stronger human beings. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment to share your thoughts, or send the video to someone who needs a little guidance during confusing times. Please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming content. Thank you for taking the time to listen. See you in the next videos, where every page of a book opens a door into the world within yourself. Wishing you soon find the meaning of your life.